What is up, y'all? It is Also Dope, and I'm back for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys another story time because I've been doing like votes on my story, and I've been trying to see what kind of story times that you guys want to see. And I did a poll today, I think it was today, and I asked if you guys wanted to see the time I was in a hit and run car accident or the time that I got robbed at gunpoint, and the time that I got robbed at gunpoint won. So I'm gonna share this story with you guys because it was pretty crazy. So without further ado, let's just jump into the video. Y'all know I can't talk sometimes, child. And y'all know I got my good old H2O right here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to join the Dope Crew family because we are the few and the proud. And yeah, I'm gonna just jump right into the video because, child, I don't even want to relive this, but we gonna do it. Grab y'all some snacks or something, like, cause it's about to get interesting. I was trying to get y'all to see my little two-piece that I got on. Trying to get y'all to see it a little bit, you know, because I'm cute. This is Skittles. She want to make an appearance so bad, so say hey to Skittles, y'all. She's the princess of the Dope Crew family. So I'm gonna just sit her right there. My little bun, y'all. I had this tied up into a, well, this was just flowing free, but I had tied it up into a little bun situation to kind of get it out of my way. This story takes place when I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and this, y'all, this was so messed up because it happened right before my graduation. So it was terrible, you know. Of course, today I'm over it, but it took me a while to get over it. And back then, y'all, I was so heartbroken about this situation. And recently it did make me really sad because I did have a lot of pictures and videos and text message threads that I do wish that I still had to this day, for a lot of different reasons that I'm not really going to go into too much in this video, but just to set the tone for y'all of how sad I was about losing this phone, which is what was robbed. What I got robbed for was my cell phone. So I was a senior in high school, and at this point in time, it was to that point where at my school, when we hit our senior year or whatever, we would get out of classes early, and we would have like half days or whatever, or shortened days, and then we would go to the field, our football field in back of our school, and we would have graduation practice, you know, just going over how the whole day was gonna go, where people were gonna sit, just them practicing, calling out the names, like that type of thing to kind of get everybody ready, and then that type of thing to get everybody ready and in the mindset and flow of how everything was gonna go on graduation day, so everything ran smoothly. So we were having one of our practices. I think it was either the last one or one of the last ones before our actual ceremony, because I think this might have been the day before we got our like tickets or something like that. But anywho, so me, and around this time it was hot outside. Of course, it was around like May, and it was warm outside. Now, when I was in high school, I took the bus to high school, so I would get on the bus. There was a bus stop at my house. I would get on the bus every morning or whatever to go to school. And sometimes on the way home, I would either walk home with a friend or a group of friends, or I would take the bus home. So on this particular day, I don't remember if I walked to school or not, but I do know that I did walk home. So I had a friend who I was really, really, really close with, and she had wound up transferring into my school, and she wound up becoming a part of the cheerleading team, which I was a part of the cheerleading team from my sophomore to my senior year in high school. And she wound up coming, and we got cool and all that stuff, and we realized that we lived literally around the corner from each other, so it would be pretty convenient for us to walk home, because when I would leave her house, I literally lived right down the block, so it was pretty close proximity, so we could walk home together. So on this particular day, we had our graduation practice because we were in the same grade, and we decided that we were going to walk home from school because it was a nice day outside. I think we had planned on, going to her house after the practice, and then I was going to go home later on. But we wanted to take the long way home for some reason. I don't know why we wanted to take this way home, because the way that we took was not in our original route that we normally took, but I think we wanted to take the long way for some reason. I don't know, we wanted to just be outside, like just walking around, talking or whatever. I think we might have been talking about something and we needed more time to talk about whatever it was that we was talking about, and I think that's why we might have went this way, y'all. I don't remember, because this was definitely like 7 or 8 years ago. So child, I don't remember what we was talking about, okay? So I'm trying to see. So we started walking home, everything is cool, blah blah blah. We talking, we catching up, we talking about whatever it is that our high school selves was going through at that time. So we got to the corner where my street started that I lived on. Now at this time, I lived in like a okay neighborhood. Like, it wasn't like the best, but it wasn't like the worst either. But you know, everywhere has its people that come around and they do whatever, strike up mess, all that stuff. So it was one of those areas where it was like, if you lived on a certain block, you might be cool. If you lived on another block, it might be a little more rowdy, but it wasn't nothing like too out of control. Now today it might be a little bit different, but yeah, if you know, you know where I went to school. If you don't, then you just don't. I'm not gonna say it, but yeah. So we got on the corner of the block that my street was on or whatever, and on the corner of that block there is a police station, a library, and like a restaurant and a fire department, like all in that like little vicinity. So like, let's say this is like the police department, the library, and this side is the fire department, and there's a restaurant on the corner. So this is what the setup kind of is like. So we get right there, and me and her, we're talking about something, I don't know, and I'm on my phone looking. And honey, I thought I was doing it because I had an iPhone. I think it was a 5. I think the 5 had just came out, or it was like recently out or something like that. Honey, I was an Apple queen, and I still am to this day. I know I've damn near had every Apple product known to man, from the watch to the MacBook to, honey, the 3G to the 4 to the 5 to the 7 to the 8, honey, to the 10. Now I got the 11 Pro Max, and I'm about to upgrade and get me a 13. So honey, I was Apple queen since day one, and I just love my iPhone, honey. And I think I had just recently upgraded it from my 4, and I was so happy because prom was coming up. Actually, prom had already happened, but so I had all of my pictures from prom. Thank God I still had a couple that I had wound up posting on social media. All of my pictures from prom, all of my pictures from luncheon, all of my pictures just from day-to-day stuff at school, all of my text message threads, everything. And literally we're walking, and we get past, like, we're right directly across from the fire station now. And all of a sudden, this guy just comes around the corner, and I think he said something like, give me your phone. And I'm like, and we looking at each other like, we kind of like laughed a little bit, like, what? Like, we wasn't, the age we was at, we wasn't really kind of like registering what was happening. Like, and we both had purses on and everything, and he didn't ask for any of that. He just was like, give me your phone. Like, my friend, she didn't have her phone at that time, so I think he was just more so kind of worried about me and my phone or whatever. So he's like, give me your phone. And I'm like looking at him, and he like, give me your phone. And that's when I seen that he had a gun. And I'm like, oh, like, okay, like, take it. Like, I know enough that it's not worth you attempting to shoot me or her or both of us or anything over a phone. I can get another one. It's not that deep, like, whatever. So at the time, I'm just like, okay, whatever, cool, blah, 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 blase, blase, whatever. So the dude, he takes my phone, he walks off, and he goes on about his business, whatever he's doing. I think he may have jumped in a car or something, and they like sped off. And mind you, at the time, the way he did everything, it wasn't like a freeze, hands up, like that type of thing. It was kind of like a conversation that we was having, but he like showed me that he had the gun. And I was like, oh, like, okay. Because he had it right here, then he had it like this. And he was like, but he had it like to him to where nobody else could see what was going on if they were looking. Like, if somebody was to ride past, it would have looked like he was talking to us or like we knew him or something, because he was kind of close. And he had it like on the side of him to where the side where traffic was couldn't see. So it was on his inside hand, because there was a building on the side of us. So the building is here, and then there's the street on this side, and the fire station, everything on that side. So he had it on the side of him like this. And then he went like this, like, I'm not playing with you, like, give me your phone. And so I give it to him. He turns off, he runs or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God. We literally was just almost home. I'm like, we literally took this way and we didn't have to go this way. I'm just thinking like, oh my God, we should have just did this. We should have just did that. You know how when something happened, you just start thinking like, dang, we should have just did what we normally do. We should have just took the regular way that we take. We should have just took the bus home. We should have. And I'm just like, this situation was so crazy to me, because I'm like, we literally are finna get ready to graduate. We just came off of prom and luncheon and everything. All of my pictures and everything is in there. My music, like, this was back when Apple Music was like popping, because people had like, y'all remember people had iPods, like the little ones and all that stuff, like where your music would be on there. You couldn't even see what was coming next. You had to just click through it, but you knew you had some gems on there. Like, it wasn't really that popping back then, unless you had like one of those. iPods was like pretty popular, I guess, but like I said, more so we had like the illegal apps, like where you would download your music off of those. Like, so when you had your little playlist on your phone, honey, it was on your phone, and when you got a new phone, you re-downloaded all of them songs all over again. Like, it was them days. So child, I was so upset. Like, I was so angry. I was crying. I was so upset. So somebody, I think it was a fireman across the street, he was like, oh my God, like, I don't know if he took her phone too. I don't remember. I think I wound up using somebody else's phone to call or whatever. But anyway, we go across the street, and the guy was like, did y'all just get robbed? And I'm like, yes, we did. They took my phone. He was like, did you see what he looked like? I'm like, yeah, but I don't really remember. I don't know where he went. I think they might have ran around the corner. And the guy was like, yeah, he may have jumped into a car and left or whatever. So they called the police. And y'all, tell me why the police literally took like 10 minutes to get over there. And it felt like the longest 10 minutes ever, because I'm just like, oh my God, like, where are y'all? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's going on? Like, I just didn't understand it, because the police station was literally right there. But y'all, when I tell y'all they literally took like 10 minutes to get there, they literally took like 10 minutes to get there. And I don't put anybody at fault that was around us, because like I said, if you were an onlooker watching the situation take place, it didn't look like we were in danger or that it was something going on. It looks like we were literally just having a harmless conversation. And the guy like left. So like, I remember calling my dad. I think I called my dad or my mom, I don't know. I dreaded that call, because I knew I was about to get in trouble. Like, why would you be walking out down the street on your phone, not paying attention? And why did y'all walk this way? Y'all never walked that way. And I got a lecture. I got a lecture. I was very upset. I was sad, because I couldn't talk to my friends. I couldn't do much. And y'all know, like, back in that time, if you didn't have no phone, honey, you had to get on a computer to instant message or to get on Facebook and message and all that stuff. And of course, you can't sit on it all night. You would have to turn it off at some point, and you couldn't take it to school with you. So once you left home, it was just like you didn't have no type of communication unless you talked to your friends or whatever at school. So I was so pissed, y'all. I was pissed. At first I was sad, and then it turned into anger, and I was so upset. I didn't have a phone for graduation day or anything. Like, I could not capture any moments. I was pretty much just taking pictures with my friends off of their phones, and they would like send it to me or tag me or whatever. But y'all, when I tell y'all I was livid, like, I never got my phone back, of course. I'm pretty sure the guy like sold it or something stupid. He might have been in the gang, and they probably told him like, this is your like something that you got to do is to like go rob these girls, because I feel like they was watching us. I think they had watched us walk for a little bit, and they was kind of just waiting for their moment to kind of get us or whatever. But looking back, I was just glad that they didn't try to do anything to us. They didn't try to take us with them or whoever, because I know that the guy, when we turned the corner to look, he was completely gone. So I'm like, either he ran really fast or he got hopped into a car and sped off, which I think he had wound up hopping into a car and speeding off, but I'm not exactly sure what happened. But I wound up getting a new phone eventually, but I was so like, y'all, I was so heartbroken because at the time I was involved with this guy who actually recently just passed away, which is so sad. Like, let me give y'all this. Let me show y'all. My high school sweetheart, and we had took some pictures together. This is one of them that we took together on prom, y'all. Hold on, because this blanket be getting a little crazy and you can't really see it. It wasn't really a good quality picture anyway, because it was, okay, y'all, it was 2014, so you know the phones wasn't giving what they needed to give, but you could see that we took this picture together. I'm so glad that we took it too, because this is literally the only picture that I have with him. But I had more in my other phone, and you know that was one of the reasons too why I was so sad, you know, looking back on it, because I'm like, man, I lost all those memories. And now today with that happening, it was just kind of like, dang, I don't even have my other pictures and text threads and all of that stuff. Y'all know all of that stuff you be wanting to have when you lose somebody or something. So yeah, y'all, I know this story was a little short, but it wasn't really much that went into it. I got y'all, this just was a lesson for me, and every time it literally gave me a hint of PTSD, y'all, because literally when people would walk up too fast on the side of me or walk like looking suspicious, I would be like on guard, like like, no ma'am, like I don't trust, even to this day, I don't trust people like getting too close or anything like that. So this just goes to show you that you got to pay attention to your surroundings. Don't walk around with your phone, with your head in your phone and not paying attention. And yeah, that was just a lesson that I had to learn, I guess. I still hate that happened to me. I'm glad I'm over it now. I've had a million phones since then. I was just so upset that something that I had that was mine, that I literally worked for, because I paid for it. I think I was working at that time. I had a part-time job, and I had begged my mom to let me upgrade my phone, and I knew that the only way that she was going to do it when I wanted to do it was if I paid for it. So I did, and I was very upset that something that I had worked so hard to earn and to achieve had gotten taken away from me from somebody who didn't literally do anything to acquire it. So yeah, that was the end of this story. That was the time that I got robbed at gunpoint. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I know it was pretty quick, but you guys chose this one. This is what y'all wanted to hear. So yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, and I will see you guys in my next video.